Center starts its working day, and now we give the floor to the Lieutenant Colonel Oleksiy Chornobay, the Speaker of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, and then to Captain of the First Rank Leonid Matyukhin. Good morning, dear audience. I'm glad to see at our briefing the state enterprises continue to supply to the armed forces of Ukraine new and modernized weapons and military equipment. So far, the ministry have concluded 99 contracts for the total amount of 4,884 million hryvnias, according to the state defense order for the year 2015. The armed forces of Ukraine received 1,711 units of weapon and military equipment, over 400,000 units of missiles and ammunition will be received. During 2015, the armed forces of Ukraine adopted 15 new models of weaponry and military equipment. At the same time, during the previous week, the repair teams of the armed forces of Ukraine repaired 245 units of weaponry and military equipment. So, starting with the beginning of ATO operation, the armed forces have received the repaired military equipment in the amount of 32,729 units, where more than 30,000 units were repaired by the forces of Ukrainian armed forces. Civil and military cooperation units of the armed forces of Ukraine continue to provide assistance to civil residents in Donbass, in Lugansk region, in cooperation with the armed forces of Ukraine. 15 schools and 8 kindergartens have been repaired, and gas supply and electric supply lines are being repaired. The gas supply has been resumed by 80% between Trech-Izbenka and Krimsky villages. At the same time, the armed forces of Ukraine proceed providing assistance to local self-governments in repair and rehabilitation of electric supply lines. Now the repair works are being conducted in the area of Novatoshkivka and Krinske. The repair works are on the way in Svatovo, where the fire took place at the arsenal. In the course of logistic reforms in the Ministry of Defense, we proceed with launching new software for registration of medical property. At the base of military medical department of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, and 2 medical property warehouses, pilot project status for registration and planning of circulation of medical property in the medical storages of military of the Ministry of Defense. Now, in the medical institution of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, there are 110 servicemen of the armed forces of Ukraine who were injured in the course of anti-terrorist operation. 37 servicemen are treated in the medical institutions abroad, in particular in Germany, Lithuania, USA, Hungary, and Austria. 93 participants of ATO now are being rehabilitated in sanatoriums and resorts of the Ministry of Defense. The servicemen who are in active service in the ATO are 100% supplied with individual means of medical protection, and by 90% they are supplied with medical equipment. Each serviceman is supplied with anti-pain medicines. Now we are engaging in deliveries of medical bags for complete sets of medicines and medical supplies. Now the Ministry of Defense, jointly with the Military Prosecutor's Office, continues their operations in returning land plots which have been transferred to ownership to the third persons. The decision of the Economic Court of Kiev was issued to return to the Defense Ministry the land plot of the total area of over 367 hectares. This land plot in 2004 was transferred to building the residential building to the firm business forum. At the same time, according to the contract, the Ministry of Defense received 50% of the should have received 15% of the total area of apartments. And that's all. Thank you very much for your attention. Now I'm giving the floor to the officer of the ATO Press Center, captain of the first rank, Leonid Matyukhin. You are welcome. On November 6, in the area of ATO, there were provocations. The terrorists once fired upon our positions in the area of Krasnogorivka. They used 82mm mortar. In Novotroitsk, a defense center, thanks to the cooperation between officers of civil and military cooperation teams and the international charity Caritas of Ukraine, the Center for Humanitarian Assistance Distribution to the residents of occupied territories started its operation. On November 7th, starting from 5 o'clock p.m. previous evening, the Russian-backed mercenaries 13 times fired against our positions from grenade launchers of various calibers, anti-aircraft guns and small arms. Mariinka, Avdiivka, Troitskaya, Piski, Opytna and Krasnogorivka came under fire. In the ATO area, Russian-backed mercenaries continued to escalate the conflict. In the Artemivsk direction, they fired from automatic and anti-tank grenade launchers, heavy machine guns and sniper rifles in the direction of Zaitsevo. In Donetsk, from Donetsk direction, they fired from grenade launchers, heavy machine guns and small arms towards Opytna, Krasnogorivka, Avdiivka, Piski and Novgorodsk. In Mariupol direction, the mercenaries conducted aiming fire from grenade launchers, machine guns and small arms towards Granitna. At the same time, the Ukrainian servicemen strictly observed the Minsk agreements, so they have completed withdrawal of mortars of 100mm calibers. Supporters of the so-called Russian world proceeds firing again upon peaceful residential settlements. About 9 p.m. They fired from 82 mm mortar against upon Novosolivka. Twice they fired upon Mayorsk and Zaitsevo of the same mortars, which should have been withdrawn according to the Minsk agreement. In general, during the day, the supporters of terrorism opened fire towards our positions 15 times. At 1 o'clock, the team of mercenaries, numbering about 20 persons, started attacking our positions in the area of Mayorsk. When they came close to 150 or 100 meters, and they didn't stop firing upon our servicemen, the decision was made to open fire of small arms in response. At the same time, when the mercenaries started their attack, the other group of mercenaries started shelling the positions of Ukrainian servicemen. However, they received an adequate response, so the mercenaries stopped their attack, and then they tried to go around our positions, but again they were fired against. They had losses, and at 3:50 the terrorists opened fire of mortars, and under this being backed by this fire, they took their dead servicemen and their injured servicemen. So even in this situation, our Ukrainian servicemen observed the Minsk agreement strictly, and our servicemen fired only of small arms. On 9 November, in the ATO area, the situation was calm. The terrorists fired in all sectors, so there was not calm situation. Starting with 6 o'clock p.m., they fired from grenade launchers, heavy machine guns, and small arms from Artemyevsk towards Mayorsk, Zaitsev, and Shumy. In Lugansk, they fired from grenade launchers and small arms with aiming fire upon our positions in the area of Shastya. In Mariupol's direction, upon Shirokina, a sniper was working. The most shelling were at the Donetsk direction. Here they fired from grenade launchers, heavy machine guns and small arms, and armored infantry vehicle again in the area of Avdiivka, Pisky, and also they fired upon Verkhnya-Toretsk, Krasnogorivka, and Opytne. In general, they made 20 firing violations upon our positions. Starting with 8 a.m., they 5 times fired against Opytne and Novgorodsk from grenade launchers in against Marinka, Avdiivka, Krasnogorivka, and Troitsk. At the Antemins direction, the terrorists fired against Mayorsk and Dzerzhinsk. In total, there were registered 19